Hello and welcome everyone to another episode of Robotech Arcadia. Here once again I am the Robotech Master Junko, and once again, as always, I have to thank the writers of the book, Justin Grook, Timothy Grook, and Caleb Spurlock, as you know they have their writing has allowed us to be able to play this here today for all of you guys. But with that out of the way, I'm going to quickly hand it over to my cast here to introduce themselves as usual.
Well, hello again. I am Sickett here for the what? Are we on our fourth session, I believe?
Yes, or no, fifth, I
Session
think.
number single digit. Okay, cool. Well, we're still in the middle of our high school year, so expect the same kind of shenanigans. And, we'll see how it gets done.
Edric
And
here,
hi.
looking forward to figuring out what comes next in the school year here. We've been going through our classes. I think we're 2 classes down, 2 to go for attending different classes this semester. Looking forward to it.
Yep, and I'm Jezebel. I'm excited about our next class, as well as the fact that apparently, in addition to becoming a Marine, my character might be trying to launch a career as an idol, and I'm sure that's going to go great. There's nothing bad in the fine print of that contract she signed impulsively
Without a lawyer.
without a lawyer present. Absolutely. That's what happens when you split the party.
Yep.
Anyway, hi. Glad to be here.
But with that, after the random blackout you guys suffered the last night, you finally were able to make it back home, get some sleep, and wake up for your next morning. Only to find that it seems like communications have broke down across the Arcadia. Some people are wondering
Okay.
if, maybe a meteorite accidentally hit one of the dishes, or if it's solar radiation that's blocked it. No one's really exactly sure, but it's annoying, unfortunately. So, unfortunately, you guys will not be able to communicate with each other over long distances. You'll have to find each other, at least for a little while.
Edric looks across the room at Jato. Found you. Sorry. Could know myself. Edric's very not concerned by the lack of communications, but very skeptical that it's anything benign. It seems very clear to him that there must be some continued terrorist activity. It seems just too suspicious on the heels of everything that's happened. He's gonna be extra suspicious of everything today.
Well, you have suspicious things indeed, like your next classes.
Oh no. There might be some malfeasance going on, but you still have to go to class.
Mm-hmm.
That's just how it is.
Which, we're going to start as, you guys get up through the morning. Everyone seems to be going about their normal daily things. Nothing really seems to be too out of the ordinary outside of the communications breakdown, and so you guys head out to class, and we're going to start with Jato. Jato, today is mental health studies.
Yes, I just solved that on the syllabus, and I guess Jato is kind of like this. This seems to be the furthest thing that you need in an engineering field, but apparently this is what we need to do. So he, with some reluctance, Jato will step inside the classroom, kind of wondering why the heck is this mental health in the middle of everything. We're here to fix spaceships, not people, right?
Well, when you step inside, you see the dean, Carlos Gutierrez, who's at the head of the classroom. Hello, class. Hello, class. Welcome in. Please, everyone, just file into a seat and get ready for class. Yes, we already do know about the communications errors. From what we understand, it seems to be just a small error in the system. It should hopefully be done by lunchtime. And eventually everyone sits it down and gets in, and the dean smiles as he looks across the class. Well, welcome everyone, but I'm going to start this class by cutting everyone off and who's wondering why do I need this for whatever. Actually, if I remember correctly, sorry, I need to double check my list here.
Am I in this class as
I
well?
believe you
I
are.
think I am. Yeah, I'm looking at my list right
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
I
you
just
have
found
it.
it.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
in this class as well.
yeah, yeah.
All right.
So you're also there. You're a little
Yeah.
late. You know,
Great.
the train got a little
Okay.
late
All right. All right. Kedrick rushes into class
with a
2
piece
minutes
of
late.
toast in his mouth.
Apologies. Yeah. Sorry. So sorry.
I expect all students to arrive to class on time, but given the situation, I can understand what happened. Just attempt to not be late again next time.
Understood. Yes, sir.
And
Won't
so,
happen again.
yep. Failure.
I know.
What would your family think?
I know.
Arriving
Kedrick
2
takes
minutes
being late
late.
very hard.
But now,
He's very punctual.
as he looks across the group, you may be wondering why you have to take mental health studies, even though you may be taking an engineering course, a soldiering course, or something like that. And the reason why is simple. While you may be going to school to learn how to fix machines or deal with combat scenarios, there is still always the human element, be it with you, other engineers, other soldiers, and that is why you have to take this class. They'll both prepare you for the archers of war, or just the extremely hectic office area. As such, we're going to go around and we're going to talk about each other for a little bit. And I'll start off. My name is Carlos Gutierrez. You may know me as the Dean here. I was a soldier during the First Robotech War on the Circe, an Oberth class destroyer. Unfortunately, my ship was destroyed due to the Zentradi attack, but me and several of the crew managed to escape and ended up in the crew of the Lincoln, another Oberth class. And while I may be retired out of the military, I have spent most of my time outside of it teaching in schools before being accepted here as the academic dean of the Robotech Academy. As such, I ask that you all give your best while you're here and understand while I may be strict about things, it is all for the betterment of yourselves. Now then, how about you? And he looks down at his tablet. Kedrick, since you were late, you get to start us off now.
Well, I'm really not sure what to say right now. I've come from my homeworld of Carbaran, and it's been my a dream. One might even say, my mission in life since a young age to join the Sentinels and to, learn how to represent not just my race, myself, my race, my homeworld, but all the Sentinel races in this, great fight against not just the or against the Invid who have been taking over so many homeworlds, but any other threats that may come along. And I've been quite fortunate to be able to come here to the Robotech Academy and learn from the experiences of all of the great people that have come here. And it kind of fumbles around and looks awkward as he is clearly not used to public speaking.
Yeah, this is a great start, and your nervousness is understandable. Not everyone is prepared to be picked out of a crowd and told to publicly speak, especially about themselves. About other topics, it's usually easier. The body will sort of, if you've studied it enough, the body will sort of go into a trance almost, where you just read out what you have. It's not really public speaking, more reading off a note to a bunch of people. But with this will be one of the parts of our mental health studies in order to better adequately understand each other and be able to move forward from what we feel might be the problem, since in the field of battle and in the field of business, you will always be unfortunately need to talk to someone else, be it friend, enemy, or annoying cubicle member. Now with that, we'll head over to, and he'll look at his list again. Jato, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I am Jato Torino. I've been living on a spaceship more or less my entire life. It's the first time I spent so much time on a planet. I will have to say is each spaceship tends to carry its own small little microcosm of a culture. Usually seems to be fairly similar, but then it all depends on how things are run, and that usually doesn't change. So I am trying to get used to life in a big city, so to speak. Well, literally speaking, in this case.
Ah,
But
but
no, it's. I guess I'll have to get used to having extra, which is not something I'm ever used to.
indeed, you might be used to working with a small team, but unfortunately, especially if you go into the military or even some of the larger business shipping industries, you'll be working with a lot more people and have a lot more people either under your chain of command or above you who you may need to work with. Now, this class isn't just solely to cover how to make sure that you yourself are doing mentally healthy, but also to look at those around you and try to help them the best they can to make yourselves a better team. And at this point, he goes into a small speech about how teamwork and how teamwork is generally the best way to get everything done, and how while he may be have been a soldier, he definitely feels that the way going forward is peace, and thinks that it is the best way to figure out the current times is through peace and attempting to understand each other. And the rest of the class, essentially, he goes through the rest of the rest of the students. You guys really don't know too many of them, um, but eventually you hear everything from satellite worlds to people who used to live on, whose families used to live on Earth before infant occupation. Um, Even those from several Sentinel students who were out, who were under infant occupation themselves until fairly recently. But with that, we'll quickly switch over to Jezebel, who is out doing things in her Marine classes.
Oh, I wonder what's going to happen this time. Oh,
Oh,
let's see. What class do I even have today? I might have lost my schedule. Mercy's like rummaging around for her schedule in her bag as she's
mhm,
probably like rushing to class late, sleeping in a little bit 'cause she's been doing her idol practice secretly, of course.
mhm.
She took that very seriously.
Well, your next class, eventually you do find your sheet. It's physical health studies.
Oh, okay. That should be easy. That's a blow off class, right?
Well, as you enter into the class, the teacher in there, who you haven't met yet and haven't seen, uh, seems to just wait for everyone else to get in before eventually opening up the discussion. Hello, my name is Sebastian Johnson. I am the physical health studies teacher. Uh, in this class, we're mostly going to be covering like health body fitness, food habits, medicine, first aid, everything that we can possibly cover to get you guys all prepared to get out into the world there. So, we're gonna start off with, and he takes a moment as he looks through his notes that he has prepared. We'll start with and then he'll just point uh over to you and go, what is the best way to deal with a contusion injury?
And can she make like a skill check to try to know this from like her past training?
Yeah, you can make a skill test for this like usual.
Let's see. I think you can put ice on it. And hold on, let me find my character sheet. I just realized I should have that open. Okay, we'll go for man at arms to rely on previous like first aid training. We'll do close quarters because I'll say that she sat like at the front of the class, and yes, that means that I will take 1 point of stress to roll these 3d6s.
All right.
Or sorry, these 66s, 3 each. Okay, so that is 2 5s, 2 6s. Yay!
Nice. So yeah, you easily know that contusion, it's a bruise, ice, rest, maybe a little bit of compression and elevation. It'll swell up a little bit, but should be fine.
Okay, I'll just kind of blurt out that information to answer the question.
Good. At least you know the basics a little bit. But going forward, we're going to be talking about a lot more worse stuff. We'll even have, and he pulls out our motions over to a one of those medical dummies. We'll have everything from basic first aid to field packing, and maybe for those eventually going into the medical, into the more advanced medical classes, you will be able to actually do some surgery on it.
Oh, that sounds super useful. I've already had to treat someone's dislocated arm. That's why I remembered about contusions. It was in another class, actually.
Well, in that case, you should probably have an easy time in this class going forward. But we're not all going to be about books here. So everyone in the class, let's all stand up and head down to the gym. We're going to go work out for a while.
Oh, that's great. That's going to help with the other thing, too. Wait, I shouldn't be saying this out loud. Marcy starts scheming inwardly instead of telling everyone her plans.
Yeah, no, and he takes you down to the gym and he starts leading the class through with the help of another teaching assistant, and a couple of members of the of some night class called Get Swole.
Is this like some kind of exercise class, like a group class?
Yeah. This they seem to be an exercise group about that. All of them are quite massively muscled. We're talking, whatever they do, they are all about muscles, and they are all about they're the type of people who are in the workout zone. But when you're on that last rep, they're getting in your face and screaming, "You got this! You got this! Come on! Come on!" And then they'll give you a big hug when you get it done, those type of people.
Gotcha.
They're absolute total meatheads, but the ones that aren't annoying.
So wholesome.
Yeah.
Gym bros. Got it. Okay.
And so, with the help of some of them, they actually, you guys all get split off into different workout exercises. Some of them are tailored more to alien physiques, the Gabarans, of course, being as strong as they are, require different workout exercises and different weights compared to a human or a Zentradi.
Right.
All the while, the teacher's going from person to person, making sure that they understand what muscles are being used, how to use the muscles, and how to effectively get the best workout possible. but the classes overall are pretty quick as you guys go through them. There's nothing too much going on in them. Though, Marzi, you do notice that there's a student here that kind of just piques your interest for some reason.
Okay.
She looks like a. You're pretty sure by the way she's dressed, a Tyrolean. And she has long, dark purple hair tied into a ponytail.
Okay. I guess while we're like, yeah, I assume after we work out, we head
Mhm.
to the like locker rooms, hit the showers. So I'll kind of like try to subtly, I'll like just kind of check her out as I'm like walking through, like getting ready to change and get ready for class, and just see if I notice anything about her, like who she's like, what she's talking about.
She seems to be mostly sticking to herself, but like as you're getting in there into the locker room and everyone's getting into the showers, you do notice that her body is very lithe, but muscled. Like what you'd almost expect out of a dancer or something, or figure skater,
Or like an idol.
possibly.
Hmm.
Um, you do know that she noticed that she also has dark purple eyes.
Interesting. So yeah, once we've like changed and we're like, just kind of getting ready to head out, I'll see, I'll walk past her and say, "Oh, hi. I don't think we met. I'm Marcy."
Oh, hello. My name is Persephone. It's nice to meet you.
Oh, that's such a pretty name.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, thank you. And she seems like a little awkward, like a little almost either nervous or something around you. Like she seems a little bit like not on edge, but unsure of what to say next.
Okay. So like maybe socially awkward,
Yeah, a
which
little meek.
yeah, Marzi is like the other kind of socially awkward. So I'm not
Hmm.
sure she notices that, but I'm not sure she really registers it much. Well, anyway, I just thought I would introduce myself because we're in the same class. Did you have fun? You look like you're pretty fit already. Did
Oh,
you learn anything?
um, it's in the class seems interesting, definitely, but I was already fairly active due to my time on Tyrol. I was part of a playwrights guild,
Oh, were
and
you
so
an
I
actor?
was. Yes, I did a lot of acting and even some performative dance.
Oh, wow. Hey, did you hear that this school has an idol club?
Um, Idols?
Yeah.
Are those? Hmm. I have only lightly heard of them and seen that they've there's a similar concept in Tyrolean, which are the muses.
Yeah, so they're kind of like that, and they're kind of like your playwrights. I think I've never seen one of your plays before, so don't quote me on that. But yeah, they perform for people. They dress up in costumes. They play a role. So I don't know. Maybe that would be something you'd be interested in.
Well, I believe I could at least try.
Well, if you have time after class, I can show you where it is if you want to walk with me there.
Oh, sure. And you're fine with me being a Tyrolean?
Yeah, why would I care?
Well, seeing as the Tyroleans created the Zentradi and enslaved them, many of them still hold, well, grudges to say the least.
Oh, well, you didn't do that, right? So it's okay.
As long as you're sure.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Then, after class, I would love to go with you.
Awesome. All right. Well, I'll meet you there. Well, and she'll like tell her where to meet,
Yeah,
not the exact place.
yeah. I'm assuming like one of the train stations nearby.
Yes, and being very careful not to reveal that she is like an idol, just like
Hmm.
telling her, "Hey, this exists. You should check it out." Wink, wink.
Well, in that case, you guys take your showers, get dressed, and head out your separate ways as classes all eventually end for the day, and everyone gets their time in the afternoon to figure out what they're gonna do. Now, of course, Marzi, your time in the afternoon has already been dedicated.
Oh, yes. I may have overcommitted just a little bit.
Just a little bit, maybe, but it's
It's
fine.
okay, whatever. It'll be fine.
But with that, uh, is there anything the other two of you are looking to do, Katurk and Jato?
Well, I'm at two minds. One is I could check out this Protoculture Club,
Mhm.
um, see what they're about, or I could. I'm also thinking about looking into our, I guess, workplace. There is the Spherian cook, Ignis. I'm
Mhm.
wondering if I could maybe chat with her a bit.
No, either one's possible. All depends what you want to do.
Okay. Well, let's check out this Protoculture Club because we have not introduced any of that
All
sort of yet.
right.
So let's take her.
And Katurk, are you doing anything? Since you guys were in the same class.
I think Dirk was going to walk over and check out this. What was it called?
Was it the Global
The
Club?
no. I was going to check out the air show club.
All
He
right.
got really into flying the mecha in the simulator, and he was kind of wondering to look into that a bit more if he found the free time.
All right. So we'll start with Jato then. Jato, you managed to head down and go find this Protoculture Club, which you find is actually the Robotech Research Club.
Ah, that one.
But you get down there, and from what you understand, it's using the Robotech Research Lab, using one of the labs in the, I believe it is, and yeah, it's in the Academy Research Zone in one of the small buildings. But you managed to get down there and find the labs, and the main area inside of the labs seems fairly calm and organized, but with well, to say the least, there's not really too much going on in this opening area. Like, there's no one seems to be around. But in this area is kind of like a more like open office slash lounge area that you come into, with doors
Okay.
leading, it looks like, into several smaller labs.
All right. If there is some sort of computer terminal nearby, I want to find out if there's. I guess I want to find out like if I can see where power is going to, if like there's a big power drain somewhere in this building.
All right, you know what? Give me an engineering test of some kind.
All right, I'm going to use my science skill and my scanning sweep. So let me be on the right page first of all. And 6. Oh, let's type that. Right, that's 2 6s and a 5.
2 6s to 5. Okay. Just having to check something really quickly. So, for the most part, it seems like most of the power is being directed into one of the larger backroom labs. Um, and it seems to be something to do with, quote unquote, a new project as it's listed. But as you start looking around, like, into the system and the power stuff, you notice that, there's a little bit of power kind of going to all these labs, but most of the power seems to be going to that back one.
All right, I'll head directly there, cautiously.
Okay. And as you enter in the Robotech Research Club into this back lab, you see that they're attempting, that there's a couple of people gathered around a device of some kind. And there's a little bit of sparks going off, and one of them's kind of like waving their hand as it smokes a little bit. Turn it off! Turn it off! Before, eventually they manage to turn it off, and they kind of look all a little dejected as they look down at their um, newest project, it seems.
I make an offhanded jokes like, "There's easier ways to make moonshine, you guys, if you know."
They all kind of like look up and turn to you and it's like, oh, welcome. No, sorry, we weren't making moonshine. We were trying to get a project ready for the Robotech Research Convention, but it's been difficult.
It looks like it's Robotech Research Convention. You say, is that an event that's happening soon?
It's happening in the next couple of months. We've been trying to work on something, but unfortunately, the newest plan is not going great.
Um, well, I'd like to ask more, but this isn't one of those this sort of thing? It doesn't leave this sort of room kind of
Hmm?
scenarios, is it?
Well, I'd ask that you don't like go spreading around to the other groups in the convention, but yeah. Um, right now we're mostly trying to figure out a new way to process protoculture, but instead of using, or rather, a new way to use Secaton as a complete replacement for protoculture.
Say that one more time. As an alternate to protoculture, a secuton, you said?
Yep, Secaton. It's one of those Kabaran. It's a Kabaran mineral, or a Kabaran mineral that's rather strong and energy efficient, but it's not anywhere on the scale of protoculture, unfortunately.
Interesting.
As
I
currently, you
suppose.
can run a ship off of it, but you can't do uh, full jumps like our current designs have.
Is it a matter of? I guess a matter. Is it a matter of scale? Maybe things are going too big, or
It's a bit of
is it just?
scale with a bit of energy conversion rate, unfortunately. Protoculture just has seemingly endless energy when you start using it, but it's hard to refine. Meanwhile, Secaton, we've refined it. You're able to get a lot of it fairly easily, but it's getting enough energy out of it.
Hmm. Well, I imagine if you guys could solve this, you'd definitely win any sort of conventions hands down.
Hmm. But I'm sorry, I didn't mean to like completely start just talking about this. Not even introduce myself. My name's Sam.
Oh, sorry. Me too. I guess engineering students are all kind of think alike. I'm Jato. Hello,
Uh,
Sam.
Nice to meet you. Um, that's Josh, and that's Michaela. And the other two students like wave at you.
Of course.
But what brings you down here? Please don't tell me you're gonna ask us to like make you an automatic uh any like struggles to think of something like an automatic egging device.
No, I'm not. That's okay. I was I don't know, start of the school year trying to check out new things. I'm part of the engineering uh, course here, so I kind of figured that this would be right up my alley. You see.
That's fair. Well, you're welcome to join the club. We do a lot of individual researches here, and yeah, feel free to try to jump in and help us with this.
Uh, I can definitely spare. I have a few hours until I go to work, so yeah, I'll see what I can do.
Yeah, when you walk over, they've got a attempted small scale Sekiton furnace set up, but as you can see, parts of it are um, now burnt, and seems like their energy conversion rate is either too high or the stuff is just cooking.
So they either need some sort of heat sink to draw away the excess
Hmm.
heat energy, or they need some sort of container to a battery, so more or less to actually contain whatever. So I'm curious as to there's probably a lot of specific parts here. Do you guys have access to a supplier? Is one of you secretly the heiress of Muratagi Heavy Industries or something like that?
Hmm. Oh no, no. Muratagi's Miss Muratagi's kid is somewhere else in the school. She got in pretty much cheap and free.
I guess that's when you fund half the city, you can get a few perks. But okay, but I was just curious, where do you guys get all this gear?
Mostly through public resources. The UEDF and UEG does a lot of funding into science like this, so we're able to get some grants through the school, and some equipment, but a lot of the harder to get better stuff that would be better working, unfortunately, we don't have access to.
Hmm,
So we're trying to make a proof of concept with, you know, pieces left over.
I see. Well, let me take a look here. And I guess out of character, since I don't know too much about the principles behind something like this, I guess Jato will look into, I guess, power storage. I suppose if you want me to pick a specific aspect, he'll try and work on that and see if he
Okay.
can brainstorm a few ideas.
Alright, yeah, no, make a roll for that.
Okay. I'll just make a standard roll using science and scanning sweep again. So, ouch. No idea. Well, I am going to actually use. I'm gonna re-roll it with one of my natures. I'm going to rely on my aloof nature to make lots and lots of offhanded jokes about the whole situation. It's like, uh, just think of all the credits you could make after if you made something like this.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not much better. So apparently that joke didn't land. Oh well. Hello.
I can hear
Am I?
you. I don't hear our wonderful GM.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Uh-oh.
I was trying to fix my headset there for a second. Yep, nope, so you managed to, you kind of look over it
Leave them
and...
speechless. Oh dear.
uh, I can be heard now, though, right?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, good. So, yeah, you managed to look over it, and you're not exactly sure where to start on this, as you never really dealt in the reactor sort of area. Mostly
Hmm,
because your parents and, their ship, they had special engineers for that, and protoculture is entirely it's not healthy to stand around. But unfortunately, I do need to step away for a quick second. So
no
talk
problem.
amongst yourselves. I will leave you guys to entertain chat for a minute.
Woo,
Hello,
chat.
chat. I guess since I guess now that the Kickstarter has funded entirely, I'm trying to think of when delivery because I just funded it all. I went in for all the PDFs. I didn't go anything too crazy myself, so I'm just wondering when those will deliver. I guess it'll be a while. I didn't actually look at the time frame.
Yeah, I think it said 2025 on the Kickstarter page. I'm not
Well, yeah.
sure, what the overall timeline is. It sounds like a good chunk of the work on the books themselves has been done, but pulling everything together and getting it out to the publisher and getting hard copies and stuff going, I'm sure it takes a lot of time.
Oh yeah, I figured. Layouts, editing. I'm sure is probably the vast majority of time spent.
Yeah, I'm curious
Okay.
if the PDFs will get released ahead of the physical books. That would be kind of cool. Even though they're being shipped and stuff.
Yeah. When I funded the what is it called, the Heavy Gear 4th edition one, they definitely released in waves. Like, hey, here's the beta version, and set in any sort of edits and misprints and all that. So
yeah, I think I'm looking at chat here. I think there's a lot of art that's going to get done. Especially looking at the Discord server this week, seeing all the different people that backed with different levels of art, try to get their ideas formulated into something that an artist can actually act on. It'll take some time.
Well, Kadirk, now is your chance to think of something really weird to submit.
Yeah,
I know.
You can
so much
see if you can
power.
have the weirdest idea out of everybody.
Yeah, the worst they can do is tell us no, so might as well go for it.
No. You're gonna have Kadirk eating grapes, and then we'll see what a bear PC looks like eating grapes. Yes, that's definitely a goal.
Well, I'm trying to think of something that would be fun and fit in, with the theme of the book, right? Which is this Arcadia Robotech Academy type deal. And so, I'm trying to think of like one of those semi-typical anime, school scenes, where I don't know what kind of chaos is going on, right? But it's more classroom drama than, anything else.
So you're going to be disciplined, standing in the hallway, holding up 2 buckets of water, and because you're a bear-sized, it's going to be extremely large.
5-gallon pails.
Yeah. Let's see what other high school tropes are there other than you're in the desk that's in the far left back of the classroom, which is, I guess it's a little weird just because now I think about it, we've always seen it where the entrance is always on the right hand side of the classroom, and last time I checked, there are left hand classrooms on the other sides of hallways, right?
Allegedly.
Yeah, I mean, you would assume that it goes both sides, right?
Well, okay, so recently I've never seen Steins Gate, and up until a few weeks ago, where a friend of mine finally got me to sit down and watch it. And I know I probably ruined one of the scenes for him when there was a scene inside one of the apartments where someone is trying to hold a door closed, and I immediately had to tell him to stop. Like, wait, this is an exterior door and it's swinging outward. No, that can't be right. And I just had to break out the entire illusion as a guy is trying to hold the door closed when the door itself should be swinging in the opposite direction of we swing. But yeah, right. I unfortunately do that sort of thing. So. But what else can
we've got confirmation that the PDFs will be out earlier than physical books, including test versions of the rules. So that's exciting.
Well, we can figure out what sort of other things for arts. Let's see. So I guess in regards to the campaign as we've been playing it so far, are you liking the pace of how things are going?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure what I expected going into this whole school/academy mindset. So that's something that I think is a little bit different than anything that I've done, in an RPG before. So that's been kind of interesting for me.
For sure. I think I played the Maid RPG before, and we did run in one session where there was in a school setting, so there was a bunch of tropes and such, but definitely nothing as delineated as this for sure. But I guess it's definitely way different than your typical heroic Pathfinder, Starfinder. So, although I do wonder if I think probably the Traveler RPG probably actually has some sort of setting just like this.
Yeah, I think.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say I
go ahead.
like it. Like if you want to play out like your own little anime or like drama kind of thing, this works really well for that for sure. And it does have a different feel than like a heroic RPG. And like you could do that in another system, but this one does have ways to kind of make it more about okay, like the scene and like my character is this way, so I get a bonus for acting this way. Like we haven't talked about that a ton outside of I think the first couple sessions, but getting those re-rolls, but that's just really cool too. I like it, and I like that we're having time to do the class and like silly club stuff, and like there's that slow burn in the background of terrorists totally aren't taking over the station we're on, right? Like everything's fine. So yeah. And what were you gonna say?
Oh, well, I guess I'll just kind of piggyback on that is that I think one of the things that I have liked, even if it does push me out of my comfort zones for, the RPGs I've done is, noticing that we've got a system that can kind of go to both ends of that extreme has been kind of fun.
Yeah.
I've played a lot of other role playing games over the years, and some of them do it better or worse, right? I like that it's a little bit rules light, and it emphasizes more of the
Mhm.
interactions and the role playing side of things. Another game system that I've always liked that did that really well, I thought, is gosh, what's it called now? The Fantasy Flight games, Star Wars, Edge of the
Oh
Empire,
yeah,
and all those
I was a big
Oh
fan of
yeah,
those.
those
that
are
series.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and where it's like it's not 100%. It's not a lot of math. It's not it's more yeah, we've got some dice you roll. You kind of see if you succeed or fail, but you kind of tell a story and a narrative around that, and you see what happens, right? And I really like that aspect of the game so far.
Oh yeah, just a little bit. Don't worry. Yeah.
Let me check my notes. I'll get back to you. But I suppose Jato tries to chime in a few ideas, but then it's probably nothing that they haven't heard before. So no real insight from Jato's perspective. Like what? Sabotaging communications? Ha 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 ha. Joke, joke, joke. Oh, well, I'm sure. Well, I guess he wouldn't tell you if he did do it. So hopefully, you won't do anything that drastic. But you've known him for years, right? All right. Thanks. I'll keep that in mind. It's still the first week of class. I'm still getting used to things. So I'll be seeing you around. Thanks, Sam. Oh dear. Okay, well, I will. No, no. It's Mars. How bad can it hurt?
No.
You might have to apply your physical education more closely than you thought. Hmm.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I kind of ran into somebody from the club when I was messing around on the simulators with a buddy a couple nights back, and they told me to stop by and check it out. So here I am. All right. Kedrick will make his way over to one of the open cockpits. Kind of. Oh, I'm terrible at this. I'm just here to have some fun. Kedrick just nods. Uh huh. He kind of shrugs. I might be, a little bit more experienced than that, but not much. Classic. Oh boy. Yeah, I don't really have any piloting related skills. Um, yeah, I'm trying really hard to stretch this out as I look at my
We
character
got this.
sheet. I could argue at least probably rally cry as I get in the cockpit and I'm soaring, like I don't know, he's just really excited and he kind of calls out over the radio like, "All right, let's do this."
Leroy
Um
Jenkins.
yeah, I've got not a lot else besides that though. So we'll go with that though. Ooh, a success. I'll take it. Or two, yeah. Sure. I didn't crash into it. I'm good. Yeah. Not and try out for the air team, I would assume. Okay. Like, is it just still a straight up flying course of some kind? Okay. Okay. All right, we're gonna do the same thing. Kedrick's having a blast, so he's just gonna be hooting and hollering as he runs through this course again, and he will add the transform or the equipment suite on top of that. So that, oops, I typed the wrong command. I can type, really. Come on. There we go. Yeah. By the way, you're not coming through on the stream at all.
Okay. Sorry, everyone. I forgot to unmute myself. I am professional GM, I swear.
I talk to myself a lot though, so
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not that
Obviously,
unusual.
Kadark was just talking to himself. He's just been GMing himself.
Just hooting and hollering, flying around.
But yeah, so you managed to, you managed to fly through fairly well, about the same as last time. But this time it's a little awkward when you try to use the transformation because you switch like to guardian mode and to try and slalom through a little bit better between switching between fighter mode and that. And when you do, the legs in guardian mode, since they're the engines, just swing out from underneath and start pushing and start trying to slow you down, which lurches you forward in the cockpit. But you managed to get through pretty well and unscathed. All right, now we're going to try and up this a little bit since you seem to be doing pretty okay, and you see the world around you kind of shift and change before it goes pitch black and then stars around you. And you notice that your course now is going through a small asteroid field.
Ooh.
All right, try not to crash.
All right. Do I still have access to the equipment suite?
Yep.
All right. So Kedrick is emboldened by his performance so far, and so maybe he's feeling a little overconfident. But his psyche doesn't register that, so he's going to switch things up. He feels like he's got this, and he's got this strategy of how he's going to fly through there, and so we're going to go all out here, and he's going to roll. I guess it doesn't matter. It's the same skill, but or same amount of dice, but we're changing it up. Woo, 2 successes.
Woo! 2 successes, completely average. And so you're not like skimming the surface of the asteroids and stuff, going through perfectly. You're very much taking clear, safe lines. They're a little slower than probably what someone else might do, but it's a lot safer what you're doing. And you don't hit any giant rocks.
I'm Rick Hunter on that mission when they went through the rings, where he's just up there flying along,
Yeah.
minding his own business.
Well, you're not doing any loop-de-loops like him because he got bored. I'm flying safe. Let me do a loop-de-loop through the ice. But you managed to get through, and eventually the sim, when you finish the last lap, the sim turns off, and the large Zentradi lady looks down at you and goes, "All right, your times aren't great, but look, you got some promise. So you want to be on the team, huh?"
Yeah, sounds like fun.
All right. Well, do you even have an idea of what's going on going forward?
I have no idea. I'm just here to fly stuff.
Good enough. You're in the team.
Woohoo!
Welcome to the Arcadian Raptors.
Ooh, fancy name.
But with that though, since we're just about done here, tomorrow you'll meet us out by one of the hangars.
Okay.
Because we plan, or actually, since you're new, we'll probably run you through the simulations a bit more. Mostly because we need to make sure you're not gonna crash, explode, and die on outside there on the Martian surface. That kind of does hurt our standing with the school.
No promises. I'll try my best.
And hopefully we'll be able to get you ready for the Trans-Mars race. See which one of us are going to be the best pilot and send them in.
Sounds like a blast. Kedrick's kind of looking around to look at other members of the team or whatever that might be hovering around. Do they have like cool flight jackets?
Yes, they do have cool flight jackets with
Oh man,
with like an Arcadian raptor on the side, on the arm, or
yeah.
in the
This is
back.
that's I want an Arcadian Raptor flight jacket out of this. That's what he's
Yeah, and
looking
it's like
for.
one of those
Hell
old
yeah. Priorities.
it's like a faux leather with the fluff around the neck. It's like an old pilot's
Yeah. I like now I know what I want the art for my character to look like
one.
with the cool flight glasses on top of his head. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're gonna be Maverick, but in bear form.
Yes.
We need a bear pun.
I need a
for
call
your
sign.
call
I gotta think about that. Yeah.
Well, remember, call signs don't come because you called yourself that. You
Oh,
do
there you
something
go.
stupid and you get made fun of.
Well, that'll be easy given I have 0 piloting skills.
Exactly. But it seems like for today they're just about done. One of the other people that you see trying out here, you see, the screen near their simulator, them spinning wildly before crashing into into one of the asteroids.
Oh dear.
And when the canopy pops open, it's you notice it's Jinx, who's just like, oh, I think I'm gonna throw up. Oh.
Jeez. Oh, like Leroy Jinx?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Kedrick walks over and like pats him on the back entirely too hard. You okay there, pal?
Uh, no. And then he like sprints away towards a trash can before you hear him heaving up whatever he had for lunch.
Kedrick just kind of shrugs nonchalantly. Poor guy.
But with that though, with everything closing down, you finally get some free time, and I assume you might be doing night classes tonight.
Yeah.
Have you prepared at all for your thesis?
A little bit. I prepared more for my business class than I realized I probably won't have that for a couple sessions. But I've got a little bit.
Okay. But before we get to that, we have to go to someone's performance.
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm. But we're gonna wait for 50 seconds for this ad break to finish. Also, I just noticed I named the stream part %.
Oh, yeah, I do that sometimes.
I don't care about this stupid collaboration thing.
I know, none of us do.
Oh,
Just like,
it-
okay, all right, we got it.
I just want to.
I've heard all the VTubers complaining about it, but that's about all I know about it.
So not good things. Got it.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, Bear Force. Yes, I'm looking at our chat now. Holy shit, that's great.
It's
I can't
hilarious.
wait.
I like it.
This art is gonna be so good, y'all. I'm so excited about it.
But yeah, with that up, you, or rather, Jezebel, you managed to get Marzi manages to get back down to where they were going to meet up their new friend, Persephone.
Yeah.
And Persephone does eventually show up, and she's like, so where are these idle things, and this wasn't just something you were saying to murder me, were you?
No, trust me, I wouldn't lie like that. I would challenge you to an honorable duel. I would never do something like that. But don't worry, I'm not doing that either. It's in the biodome. Here, I'll show you.
Okay, and she'll follow along with you.
Okay, and as we're walking through the grounds, like Mercy has a spring in her step. She obviously hasn't changed. She's just got like this huge, bulky, like bag, probably like a military style like duffel, but also like a big oversized purse because she needs all of that just to cram her costume, her accessories, all the
Mm-hmm.
makeup, everything that Laura hooked her up with. But she's kind of like bouncing along and just talking about like just chattering away happily at Persephone. Just super excited and totally fueled on coffee right now.
That's fair, and for the most part, it seems to be going, pretty well overall.
So what
But
kind of music do you like?
well, I'm only really familiar with traditional Tyrolean music, usually sung or played by the muses. But besides that, I'm still very new to the cultures of music outside of Tyrol.
Yeah, it was a lot for Zentradi to figure that out too. Like the first time we ever heard music, some of us went a little crazy, a little fanatical about it, if I do say so myself. But you'll love it. It's like it's like your music, but just maybe like a little faster tempo.
And I hope it's unlike my music in the sense it's not meant to mind control people.
Oh no, although idols do sometimes get deals to help sell things, but it's not really mind control. It's just like persuasion.
Okay. And
But you don't have to do that if you don't. And anyway, she'll go
yeah,
on.
yeah, you talk on and on and on, and she kind of occasionally chimes in, but eventually you do make it to the club, rather, the idol agency, more like it.
Yes, the agency.
And you're quickly separated from Persephone as Persephone's taken upstairs to the idol manager.
I'll give her my number like really speedily
Yeah.
in the lobby and just like, hey, text me if you need anything. I have to go.
Oh, thank you.
See you in a bit.
See you. And so you go in, and immediately there's like a small crew of people, um, like starting to get work on your makeup, help you get dressed, everything. Uh, you basically have a pit crew team that is just like
Nice.
just getting you dressed, getting your makeup on, getting your hair all done up. Um, Most of the crew seems to like several of the crew seem to be like big burly men who are very very good with makeup. And we're talking like they probably try out for the swole class. They probably work out in the swole class,
Nice.
kind of
Yeah.
muscular. But they managed to help. The crew managed to help you get through with that and get ready, and eventually you're ready for your first thing. And so for your first thing, you're actually going to be doing a photo shoot.
Oh boy, right into the deep end. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And so
Uh-oh, I think your headset might have died again. Oh yeah, no worries. Yeah, no, I'm just thinking about this in terms of like reality TV, like, Next Top Model and Drag Race of like, okay, the first challenge is the photo shoot because it always is. I'm also just entertaining the chat right now while we wait for our GM.
Just waiting for it to be like surprise combat course, and then you like run through a
Yeah.
boot camp style drill, and then
Yeah, I'm
Anyway.
just waiting for that to happen. Like someone attacks, like maybe even like a crazed stalker attacks, and it's like combat sequence, and it's like, oh shit.
Okay, can I be heard?
Yes.
You can
Awesome.
be.
Hey, welcome back.
So let me make sure that
If that happens, I am texting y'all though. Let me tell you how many problems would have been solved with phones and like Robotech
Yeah,
and like old Macross and everything.
but as you get into this, get ready for your photo shoot. Um, the man behind the camera is like, "Ooh, you look amazing! Like ready for some entertainment." And he like poses the whole way.
Okay.
Now, you're going to get ready for your photo shoot, so I need you to look cute. I need you to look stunning. I need you to look fierce in a way that will hit the hearts of every single person you see.
I'll try.
Don't worry, it should be easy enough to do. And so, with this, it's actually considered a social conflict.
Oh. Interesting. So does that work the same way, or
Yeah,
are there
so
any?
social conflicts work the same way, except you just got to change the mindset from how am I punching that guy in the face to how am I stealing their heart
Got it.
without ripping it out through their chest.
Not this time. I have to yeah. Maybe that wouldn't go over so well. Okay, so let's see. I think I'm definitely going to use close quarters because
Mhm.
that says that's getting personal with a task or an opponent. So just getting, you know, making love to the camera, so to speak, of like just using the space and using the fact that like I'm in the room with this like camera to position myself the way that I would on the battlefield maybe. So I'll
Okay.
use that. And then let's see, what else can I do? um Rapid fire. So I'll just do kind of like a deluge of different poses and facial expressions so that he can hopefully get a lot of good pictures. So that is rolling 66, and I will take another point of stress and live dangerously.
Okay.
Because why not? I mean,
So by the way, a combat.
okay, so that's a 6 and a 5.
All right. Do you feel safe with that number?
Yeah, I feel pretty good about it.
Okay. Yeah. No, you start getting through it, and you manage to get out some nice looking pictures. And each time he snaps one, he snaps like a couple with each pose, and each time he is getting more and more into it. Oh yes, this will look fabulous. And finally, you're given one last chance to make the piece de la resistance of your entry into idol career, and I want you to make one more test, or one super picture, basically. The cover of
Okay.
the face of your new legacy.
Okay. No
Legacy.
No
pressure.
pressure at
My
all.
legacy. Okay, yeah, my legacy. All right, let's see. So we'll stick with close quarters and can I spin? How could I spin man at arms? Let me see if I can. Okay, I'll do kind of like a cutesy but like sassy like kind of finger gun so that it's like I'm aiming at the viewer but kind of like a winky face like kiss, so it's not like I'm really like, oh, I'm gonna shoot you, but like
Yeah.
cute. And I'll say man at arms because I'm shooting at them,
Yeah,
and
you're
I guess
shooting your love at them.
yes. And oh gosh, okay, that's only a 5. I think I want to re-roll that though if I can, because I haven't used
All right.
my nature today because I don't like that. Let's see. And I only re-roll 5s count here, right?
Yes, 5 counts. You're not at any problem here.
Okay. So I'll re-roll the others. So it'll be there's
Okay.
another 5 and a 6.
All right, yeah. So you managed to make this final piece, that little, you're shooting your love at them in a very cute and adorable way that you didn't even know you had on in you, and he seems to just be absolutely super like ecstatic about it, and manages to snap one picture, and then this switches frames immediately to the newest blog across the way, Marzi, the Zentradi of love.
Sweet, I'm gonna be famous! Yay!
And so you now get to officially mark down you have Fame 1.
Ooh, hell yeah. Okay, let me add that to my character sheet.
So with this, as you go through these challenges, you'll be able to, grow your fame. There's a bunch of different ones that you can do that your manager will try to set up with you, and yeah, you should have a lot of fun with this one, hopefully.
Yay! Yeah, so Marcy's just like she's a little tired. She took like 3 stress total today. So
Also, you
she's a
take one
little
more for doing idle stuff.
Yeah, I took 1 more for the idol stuff. Yeah. Oh, I take 1 more in general, are you
Yep.
saying? Okay. Oh, that's 4. Oh no. Oh my god, I need that coffee break talent. Like when we level goodness. So yeah, she's a little frazzled, but she's very excited
hmm
after this day.
And yeah, you're absolutely just, it's been an ecstatic first day. Things have been flying by. Um, it's just been a lot going on.
Yeah, I'll definitely check my phone though and make sure Persephone or Laura haven't texted me. And I'll send both of them a text just being like, I just got out of my photo shoot. Like it was so awesome and hope you're doing great with like a ton of emoji because she's just like really,
hmm
really happy.
Yeah, no, both of the communications luckily have come back up since then,
Oh, that's good.
and you managed to get your message out, and they both wish you the best. Hoping that things have gone well. Marzi says, or not, yeah, Marzi says. Persephone says that she's just been signed up and is going to be working as an idol here too. Meanwhile, your Laura seems to have been getting out of a practice for a live performance.
Oh, nice.
But with that, though, you can finally do something maybe tonight, or are you going to go to bed early?
Uh, if I do,
hmm
will it help with stress? Do I just regain everything like when I rest, or I
You
can't remember how
regain
that
one stress at a
works?
time.
Oh goodness. Okay. Oof. Oh, all right. Oh,
Are there
phew.
other activities you can do to relieve stress?
Possibly you might have to find them.
Hmm. Okay. Um. So yeah, I'll start like heading back home, but as I do so, I'll have my eye out for anything like if I see anything that seems like it would be particularly relaxing. Maybe I take like the scenic walk home.
Yeah, you take the scenic walk home, and um, as you're doing this, though, it looks like, today, you're finally kind of letting yourself relax for a minute. It's been a rough day, and then finally you manage to get around one of the corners because you see a sign for an ice cream shop that's still open. Thinking that
Ooh.
some ice cream would be nice, and another woman bumps into you, and when you look at it, it looks like one of the other idols from that first day who was glaring at you.
Oh, hi.
Hmm. Oh, you're that new woman.
Yeah, I just started. How long have you been doing this?
Longer than you, and if I were going to say anything to you right now, it would be drop out while you're ahead before I have to crush you.
Um, I'm sorry, we just met.
Yes. Hopefully we don't have to meet again. And this woman she's a little shorter than you because you're tall, you're tall as a Zentradi. But
Mhm.
she's a little shorter than you, probably somewhere around 5'6", 5'5", and she's got this just annoyed glare looking at you. Her hair color is pink. She's got it kind of in a wild fuzz, almost like what you'd see for like Gem and the Holograms or something.
Mhm.
But she's very much looking up at you with like an annoyed look of either competitive rivalness or she just doesn't like you. Now then, if you're done being in my way, I have to get back and get ready for my next performance. And she just walks around you and kind of like, as she walks by, she does like the shoulder bump, but since she's a little shorter than you, kind of just like bumps into like your lower arm.
I'm just kind of too shocked to even react to that until she stomped off. Okay, well, I'm gonna get ice cream. No problem.
Yep, you go get some ice cream. It's nice. It balances out the crazy woman that just told you
Thank God.
get out of your career.
That's worse than Marine class.
But
Oh well.
yeah.
And Marzi enjoys the ice cream.
hmm But now we're gonna head back over to Jato. Jato, you managed to get to work just in time, and the news is blasting inside about a new idol and who's making headway into the scene. And when you look up, it's Marzi, but like in a gothic kind of outfit with like platform boots.
Huh. Okay. Well, I guess
And they're calling her the
her debut.
Zentradi of Love.
Well, they're brand new to the subject, so I guess she's striking while the iron's hot. So.
But as luckily tonight's a little bit of a quieter night. Usually it's pretty active, but it seems like everyone, especially with the communication problems that were happening earlier, a lot of people have stayed in tonight just to try and relax or get some early sleep, especially because the week is starting to come to an end.
All right. Well, I will. I guess my objective today is probably to try and chat up Ignis, the sphere and cook
Mm-hmm.
in the kitchen. So that'll be something. That'll be my point of focus if I can do that.
Yep. So yeah. So you managed to get some downtime. No one's really ordering anything, so you kind of walk over to like the window that looks into the back to the kitchen, and Ignis kind of looks up and goes, "Oh, you're the new waiter, right?"
Yeah. Don't know what possessed me to do all this, and as I look at my gray cat ears on my head, I was just like, this is not anything I'm used to, but I guess a paycheck's a paycheck. Hopefully you're here under better circumstances.
Well, kind of. Um, I want to be the world's greatest chef.
Oh, well, how long have you been in the trade already?
Um, a little while, but it's a little hard when you don't have taste buds.
I was about to ask that. I don't know much about spirins, but I don't. Your kind doesn't necessarily eat, right?
Yeah, we uh mostly it's like energy and stuff. If I feel like this is the GM, making saying this because I think this is how it works. But yeah, no, mostly like energy and stuff. I guess we can eat, but um, yeah, One thing you
Uh,
do notice from her is that she's wearing clothing. Most Spherians don't need clothing due to the fact that they're just sheer rock. Not like there's
oh,
anything there that's lewd.
of course. I mean, I suppose just like, so I mean, it's an interesting goal for sure, especially that you were out all the way here on Mars for this sort of thing. What came across that you wanted to pick up the chef trade?
Um, I just kind of met up with Carl and I wanted to explore, and ever since I came into being and was formed, I just kind of wanted to.
I see. Well, I guess we all have interesting experiences. I will have to say that yours is out there, but me being a human, we're kind of known for being all over the place. So
Hmm.
I suppose that's kind of a universal thing. Um, I unfortunately, I do know that a lot of a lot of the foods that we make here end up being maybe not in the best condition, and for our guests.
Well,
Sorry that
it's
happens.
it happens, but it'll get better.
Well, I mean, us humans are pretty inventive, so maybe we can help. Maybe I can help out somehow. That
Well, if you
got
can,
anything for me to try?
uh, if you can figure out a way for me to smell or taste, that'd be nice.
Well, that I'll see what I can do. As I chuckle, it's like, well, I suppose I'll need to figure out what's about sphere and biology and what sort of senses that your kind actually does have.
Um,
No smell, no taste.
yeah, it's hard to explain to someone. Not like I'm saying you can't understand, but it's hard to explain because we still touch things, we still feel things, but some things are just on a different wavelength, you know? Especially because we meld into crystals ourselves. This body of mine is just, well, technically it's just grown or formed from shards of someone else, but. And she kind of gets a little down when she mentions that before kind of just shaking it off. But I'm sure we can probably figure something out.
Well, everyone has. Well, us humans have five senses, and I know that there for the blind there are ways of relying on someone's touch, and then if for the deaf there are ways to rely on other senses. So maybe we can come up with something for you. Uh, I don't know if they make a braille for taste, but stranger things, right?
Hmm. I'm sure we can. There's probably something out there, or some way to figure it out.
Oh. All right, so we'll keep it up. So, but I'll see you around. I guess I'll be here a while if you're going to be here a while.
Yeah, no, I'm basically always here.
Hello? Oh, sorry. Okay, I heard you now. Okay, cool. All right. And with that, I guess Jato will wave and return to his waiting duty.
Check. Okay, there we go.
Are
Sorry,
you
my
there?
head. I really need to replace this headset, but that requires money. Which you can do by subscribing to me. But besides that, yeah, no, she'll wave you all. She'll like wave to you as you head back out, and Carl yells at her. You know, Ignis, back to work, another 3 orders. Yes, chef. And the rest of the night goes pretty well. Do make sure to mark your 1 stress, which you will lose, if you when you sleep. And with that, we're gonna head back to Kadirk. Kadirk, what are you doing tonight?
Kedrick is going to go back for his verbal beating with the Ben Dixon club.
All
He
right.
has done some homework, but he doesn't feel very good that he's come up with enough compelling evidence to go up against his nemesis here. It's not that he feels like his nemesis is out arguing him per se. It's that he's not arguing at all. He's just saying, well, yeah, but prove it. And it's really, really annoying Kedrick. So he's kind of dreading going to this club tonight.
Well, you can always
Or,
just
I
choose.
guess it's technically a class.
It's a night class. You can technically skip out on it if you want, or go to one of the other ones.
No. He's like it's a matter of principle at this point for him.
Okay. And so you head into class, and like everyone else there is kind of just there.
Oh yeah.
You think that someone in the back of the classroom has like brought in a full blanket, like griddle and like pillow setup, and is like grilling some like midnight food.
Not surprised.
And
Kedrick is like just like personally offended by the entire premise of this class at this point, though. So he's putting in far more energy than he should.
You manage to get into the class and sit down, and eventually, the teacher, Dan Bixon, comes in, and he's like, "All right, class. So to start off today, I'd like to hear if you had any more arguments going forward."
So Kedrick's gonna pull out a literal stack of papers he's printed. He could have brought this in like his tablet or whatever, but we're going for physical medium here for effect, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he slaps down this just pile of research that he's done in his limited free time on he's focused on the combination of protoculture and robotechnology as the like standout driving factors here, with some history of the SDF-1 and now I'm gonna show my own lack of deep knowledge here, but the Zentradi roots and Zor stealing the battleship, and how there just wouldn't have been any precedent for any of this or time to have any kind of technology in place that could have absorbed somebody's essence.
Okay.
And he's just got all this like more technical side of things, right?
Yes.
Because that's how Kedrick would approach this.
Yeah, so you start hammering out this evidence and, putting forward, just no possible way you could take the essence of one person and put it into another body or absorb it into a ship. And he lets you go all the way through, and then he goes, "Well, I can see where you're going from with that, but I do have a counter argument for you today," he says, much to your dread.
Yeah. Kedrick's just kind of like leaning on one paw, like looking at him, like, "Here we go."
Well, to start with, we already do have the ability to transfer the essence and memories of someone. The Tyroleans have had that forever. In fact, Tyroleans have used that to create the Zentradi. It's how they mass-produce their effective fighting force. Along with the Robotech Masters, using it to extend their own theoretical lifespan by transferring their memories and knowledge into a new body. On top of that, we have other alien races, such as the Haydenites, which are entirely mechanical based. So there is technically a precedent already in the galaxy before humanity knew about it, about putting a human consciousness or another consciousness in a body and copying that person.
And Kedrick will kind of like nod along with this and stuff, and he goes, "But there's no evidence that any of that technology was present on the SDF-1.
Or was it present in a different way? Something at the time the SDF-1's crew didn't know about.
He goes, but if that was the case, then there would have been some subsequent record of it, that would have come to light, later on.
Well, possibly, but at the same time, remember, the SDF-1 was destroyed by Chiron. It's very possible that many secrets that weren't discovered were lost to time. Especially with the transferring of equipment from the SDF-1 to the SDF-2.
But at that point, then, there would have been some form of record on it, as that equipment moved on to the SDF-2. Like, at no point has, said as Essence ever, materialized, or any other claims of anything even remotely similar to, what you're claiming is possible has happened, in the history of this ship and its subsequent iterations.
I'd be willing to accept the argument, but we've seen how extremely, how shall we say, rushed the technological learning of the time was. With the SDF-1 having dropped to Earth, they had a scant 10 years to try and learn everything they could. And even then, we have records showing that Rick Hunter and Lin Minmay, before she became famous, were lost in unknown parts of the ship. How many of those parts maybe just never got explored or were too damaged after the fighting of the force of arms? Is it not possible that if there was material there, it may have been destroyed or rendered inoperable completely?
Kedrick's just kind of like starting to become like more and more defeated and looking on hopeless, but he's not buying it. Like, he's not being convinced. He's just at a loss at how to continue the argument.
But I will say your arguments and research were good. I do think that maybe you should try looking further into either maybe how Tyrolean or Zentradi cloning works, or try to see if you can find some records that maybe didn't get released. Maybe records that were lost to time or filed away in the wrong spot about the SDF-1.
That sounds like something that's up Kedrick's alley here.
In fact, the ones who are so interested about it are the Global Club. They seem to be very interested in Global and the SDF-1 itself.
Aha.
Or maybe the Robotech Research Club.
Kedrick like takes a bunch of notes and kind of nods along.
Now then, and then he goes into the rest of the class where he starts to going into how the immortal mind of Ben Dixon attempted to fight the encroaching force of Anatole Leonard, was unfortunately unsuccessful due to an accident that had happened with one of his inner circle members, having expanded his roster from just him to several extremely trusted members in order to try and defeat Anatole Leonard before he rose to power in the ASC. But sadly, due to a betrayal by an AI he made, instead he was left hopeless to unfortunately able to stop it, and Anatole rose to power, which led to the eventual fall of Earth. Hypothesizing that if
not be able to help himself, he'll just like let out these like annoyed sighs throughout the lecture as he's taking notes just in case.
Yep. And he goes in, that if Ben Dixon had been alive, Earth would have not fallen. Which, like, there's no way to prove that one.
Right.
But he believes it.
Yeah, and that's the part that Kedrick finds the most offensive. Is this guy like is clearly like fully sold on this stories that he's spinning, and Kedrick just wants to change his mind, so to speak, or maybe not even change his mind, but feel like he's presented an argument that he can be proud of and walk away. And right now, Kedrick doesn't feel like he's won any of their verbal sparring matches so far.
But with that, we'll end your night class there, and you all are able to head back to your dorms. Jato, it's been a long day of work, and you and Marzi are actually the first ones to make it there.
Hey, Marzi, I saw you. Your ads are already on the TV waves. Your face is plastered all over work.
Yeah, that was fast. I didn't think it was going to be that fast, but I guess it's good.
I hope so. I mean, you know what they say: a star is born every day, but
I guess
also
so.
a star also fades out every day too. So I hope you're ready for this.
Yeah, you got any more of that beer, actually?
No, sorry, I didn't bring any with me tonight.
That's okay.
I mean, that we could always maybe. I actually looked Marcy up and down. It's like you seem a little out of it right now. Maybe you should head to bed early.
Yeah, that's probably not a bad idea. It's really been a long day. How was your day?
Well, it's interesting. I met with the Robotech Research Club, and they're working on a few projects, and I finally got a chance to talk to the Sphere Network. She's pretty interesting in that Sphere in biology they don't taste or smell it, but she's trying to be a cook. Well, I guess she is a cook.
Is her food good? I didn't get to try the food when I was there.
I mean, it's hit and miss. Sometimes she gets it, and sometimes it needs to be remade. So I don't know.
Well,
A better cook than either of us, right? Haha.
yeah,
Yep.
probably. I've never really tried to cook, but that's good for her.
I guess if you're going in the idle path, I guess you probably don't need to cook anymore, right?
No, I think they probably cater the set most of the time. Wow, that's so weird. Huh.
Well,
Now,
But exciting.
well, two other classes to go. I hope yours have been pretty interesting so far.
So far, so good. Today was our first aid class.
at this
I
point,
think I'm gonna
Kadirk,
need
you
it.
will you'll walk in with the rest of them with your defeated look but new information on how to defeat your foe.
Kedrick's grumbling under his breath. You hear him say, mumbling like Ben Dixon, Den Dixon.
What's going on with Mr. Ben Dixon? Is he the hero of the hour, of the day, of the century?
The century, according to this guy. He kind of mumbles crazily about it for a little bit.
Why don't you tell me a little bit about one of his arguments?
So Kedrick will recap the most recent class here and reiterate, how he's been approaching this from some of his research and just not getting anywhere.
So let me get this straight. He believes that Ben Dixon has lived because he was converted into energy from the SDF pinpoint barrier exploding, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, according to this guy, he believes that Ben Dixon has actually had his essence absorbed by the SDF-1 and then been carried forward, beyond that into, potentially other iterations of the ship and is, quite possibly still out there affecting events in the universe.
Okay, how about we maybe try something like this? We do know that there's plenty of pilots that did not make it out of that conflict. Why don't you take the arguments that Mr. Den Dixon has made, and instead of talking about Ben Dixon, you just promote a different pilot, but using his same exact logic.
Or just prove that humans didn't have that technology at the time, because there's no way they did.
Well, and Kedrick will go into some of the arguments that Dan Bixen made in the most recent class about how perhaps we just didn't know about them, and he'll like hold his hands up all sarcastically.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what I mean. Is instead of promoting Ben Dixon, you promote one of the other pilots that died during that conflict, and just say, well, instead of Ben Dixon, why couldn't it have been, Joe Flavor, Lieutenant
Well,
Joe
and I
Flavor,
Joe
and
Flavor?
Joe
Is that
Flavor
one of your
make my
heroes?
you don't know about Lieutenant Joe Flavor of Flavor
I've never
Squadron?
heard of Joe Flavor.
That's
and
that's too bad.
my concern is that having gone to 3 of these classes now, I think I'm pretty sure that that'll just reinforce his point that it could have been anyone. It just happens that it was Ben Dixon that this actually happened to.
I suppose, but I just kind of feel like if you just reframe his argument with another name, then he can't refute anything of the same source. And either he will continue to say the same thing, or he'll come to realize. Well, no, he probably won't realize anything.
Yeah,
but,
he probably won't.
Well, I mean, you could always start the Joe Flavor promotion club, and but no, if that doesn't work, then I guess well, there's always other avenues. But sounds like you have an uphill battle. I kind of wonder why you're still doing it, but Kabar society loves a fight, right?
It's personal at this point.
This time it's personal. I got you.
Yes. So Kedrick mentions his next stops are to go and talk to the Global Society, or I forget what it was called, and also maybe reach out to somebody in the was it not the Robotech Research Club, the Protoculture.
Oh, yes, the Robotech. Well, it is the Robotech Research Club. They
Oh,
do.
okay, yeah, the Robotech Research Club, and
I was just there earlier today. They have some pretty interesting products with with Secaton, which I guess since that originates from your home planet, maybe you know a few things about it.
Interesting. I assume it'd be a familiar brand name. Well, perhaps you could assist me with an introduction to some of the more senior members of the club, and I can maybe enlist their help in, finding out any information that may not be so widely known about what technology was actually available on the SDF-1, and what might have survived and been moved to subsequent ships and such, since both the SDF-1 and the SDF-2 were destroyed.
Yeah, fair enough. Everybody's pretty nice over there when they're not blowing things up, but yeah, they could definitely use. They're definitely eager to talk about things.
Excellent.
But with that, you guys are able to tuck in for a night and get ready for some sleep. You can all mark off 1 stress as you wake up the next morning, but specifically, Jato, wake up the next morning and you check your class schedule for what's the next class.
Uh-huh.
Mental health studies.
I checked the calendar. I was like, wait, did I just have this?
When you check the calendar, it says that today is yesterday.
I guess I fully awake to attention, and I go over, and I assume I'm in my dorm along
you're in
with
your dorm.
Kadirk.
Yep.
All right, I'll poke Kadirk if he's up and about.
Yep. Kadirk, you are poked awake by your friend Jato.
Hey Kadirk, sorry to get you up, but I got something weird. Can I see your comm tab for a moment?
Hedrick wakes up kind of groggy. Yeah, whatever. Here you go.
You like hand it over, and looking at it, you see that mental health studies is on there. Today is yesterday.
Interesting. Okay. I fully tried to poke the bear awake, even though that might be normally that's a bad idea, but I think this will work.
Yep. So
Edric will sit up and kind of, what's going on?
We both were in the mental health studies yesterday, right?
Kadirk,
Yeah.
before you
Yeah.
answer that,
Oh.
You haven't been to mental health studies. That's today's class.
Okay. Ketter, kind of blinks awake and like, no, we haven't been to that yet. Isn't that what we have later today?
Okay. I suppose so. I guess if Dean Gutierrez speaks about the importance of mental health and says, and I will with my eidetic memory talent, I will specifically say something specific that he said yesterday, and I'll relay that to Kadir. It's like if Dean Gutierrez says whatever the phrase is, then we'll know something is wrong, and we'll need to speak about that again.
Kadir gets a little
Okay,
weird.
you say so.
And we're going to end the session with Jato. You see that there's a call coming in your comm tab from Sam.
From the Robotech Research. Okay, yes. Hey, good morning. A little early, but good morning.
Good morning. So, have you seen the movie Leonard's
Primer.
Groundhog Day?
That sounds like an Earth
no.
thing.
And that's where we're ending the session.
Okay.
Oh no.
But
Okay.
But with that, I am Haruko Junko. I have been the Robotech Master for today, and hopefully, nothing weird happens, in the next session. But once again, I'm going to give a quick shout out to Justin Grolk, Timothy Grolk, and Caleb Spurlock, the writers of the Arcadia supplement and module. And then I'm going to quickly just pass it over to my guests here, as we're ending a little bit early, just because I have some stuff to do.
Hey, I'm Jezebel, player and writer of sci-fi things, Starfinder, and hey, I'm playing some Robotech. This is super awesome. I sometimes play and stream games over at Space Princess J here on Twitch, but just happy to be here and part of this and excited to get art of this character in a book. That's so cool. Somebody else. Tag!
I'm Kedirk, and I have been having a blast playing. I'm looking forward to more wacky adventures, and excited to see what's coming next.
And I'm Stickit. As we were mentioning wacky adventures, I feel like I've been thrown into a wackier one, and it's since I was talking about Steins Gate earlier today, I kind of wondering if it's going to go in that direction, but we'll see.
The timing on that,
Suspicious space.
Suspicious. But with that, I thank you all once again for coming out. I'm going to quickly find us someone to raid. Who do we want? We will raid my good friend, the Pixel Doctor, who is working on some art. With that, though, once again, thank you for all coming out. If you do like it, head over to my Twitter. I generally post there when we're getting ready for sessions and such. Besides that, though, I'll talk to you guys all later. Say goodbye, everyone.
Bye!
See you next time.
Later.
Are we off the air?
I need to make sure. Double checking. Maybe. Or maybe not. Okay, no, I don't think it worked. That stupid thing. Okay, no, okay, it did transfer. Okay, we're good.
Okay.